Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the podcast For the Love of Drama. Today, I want to talk about the Royal Exchange Theatre in Manchester. And I'd like to start by reading part of an obituary from last month. When man first walked on the moon in 1969, space-age design began to percolate into mainstream architecture. One of the most literal and dramatic interpretations of this futuristic trend was the Royal Exchange Theatre in Manchester, a heptagonal theatre in the round, contained in an ultra-modern structure of tubular steel and glass, inspired by NASA's lunar lander. A key member of its design team was Axel Burrow, who has died aged 79. The theatre module which Burrow designed with David Levitt and Malcolm Brown squats within the neoclassical confines of the historic Royal Exchange, a building within a building, conjuring a compelling visual and experiential contrast between old and new. The theatre gives a unique performance experience, with all the audience seated close to the stage. The actual site of the theatre has a vast history, dating back to at least 1729. But I'm going to fast forward nearly 250 years to 1976, when the Royal Exchange was officially opened by Sir Laurence Olivier on Wednesday, the 15th of September. The very first production of the theatre was The Rivals, written by Richard Sheridan in 1775, a comedy of manners, exploring themes of mistaken identities and romantic entanglements. The cast of The Rivals included Tom Courtenay, James Maxwell, and Patricia Routledge, who was also Mrs. Hyacinth Bucket, or Bouquet, in Keeping Up Appearances. Here's a fun fact for you. The bar cafe in the theatre is named The Rivals, a great way of keeping the memory of the very first production alive. Early productions that ran after The Rivals included Rosalind Knight, Avril Elgar, Dilys Hamlet, Eric Thompson, and Lee Montague. Each of them were students from the Old Vic Theatre School in London. The theatre has a history of more than 400 main house productions, from Vanessa Redgrave in The Lady from the Sea, Robert Lindsay in Hamlet, Michael Sheen in Look Back in Anger, to Sharon Jones in Orlando, Maxine Peake in The Skriker, and also Maxine Peake in Hamlet. Don Warrington also was in King Lear, and also with Maureen Beatty in Death of a Salesman, and Sharon Duncan Brewster and Maxine Peake in A Streetcar Named Desire. There are also the traditional Christmas shows. Past productions include Carol Ann Duffy's Rat's Tales, Victoria Wood's The Day We Sang, That Day We Sang, Little Shop of Horrors, The Producers, Betty, a Sort of Musical, and most recently, a brand new production of Singing in the Rain that ran from November 2025 to 18th of January this year. Over the years, the Royal Exchange has established itself as one of the country's most significant theatre companies, staging bold, engaging, and often challenging work. And that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed that. I would like to continue a little bit more about the artistic director of the Exchange Theatre in Manchester next week. So I will work on that this week and hope that you will all join me next week on Monday. Also, any suggestions that you might have for any subjects to do with drama, anything, and I will have a look into that as well. Just stick it on the comments. But for now, as always, have a great week, and I will see you all again very soon. Bye.